In the cold storage, deep in the wilderness. He held him even though I was the one wearing the ring. You never forget the first time someone calls you a coward and you realize they're right. The wind had howled through the Yukon pines all night, rattling the loose tin of the old storage cabin like bones in a box. I was supposed to be doing a final supply check alone. My husband, Eric, was back in Anchorage, believing I was out here hunting caribou with the park services. And technically I was, but also I wasn't. His name was Jamie, 26. He was our new intern, fresh from Portland, all bright cheeks and idealism. We were supposed to just work together for 6 weeks and move on. And then the blizzard hit. 3 feet of snow in 2 hours. Phones dead. Radios frozen. One way to survive: the cold storage cabin. The inside reeked of meat and oil and old frost, but it was better than dying. The door slammed shut behind us with a sound like judgment. He was shivering. I gave him my coat. He looked at my ring. I saw the question in his eyes, the pain, the restraint, and still didn't pull away when I touched his face. I told myself it was just to warm him, just to make sure he didn't freeze. But when he said, voice small, "Does he know you love someone else?" I didn't answer. We didn't speak for a while after that. The thing about being out here in the wilderness is that it strips you bare. Not your clothes, your lies. Out there, you can't hide behind routine. Behind the safety of, I have to go, my wife needs me. Or let's not talk about this here. No coffee shop goodbyes. No airport fades. Just miles and miles of snow and silence. And the sound of your own heart beating itself to death. Jamie fell asleep first, his head against a box of vacuum-packed elk meat. I sat in the corner, watching the soft rise and fall of his breath. And I hated myself, not for loving him, but for not having the guts to love him out loud. I met Eric when I was 22. We built our lives together, bought a house in Spenard, shared passwords and dogs and Thanksgiving dinners. He was my best friend. We were good together, but he never made me burn. Jamie made my soul ache. That night in the cabin, with the world frozen outside, I finally let the truth thaw inside me. I crawled over to Jamie, gently, slowly, like you approach a wounded deer. He stirred, blinked up at me. "What are you doing?" he whispered. I took his hand, pressed it to my chest. My ring glinted in the low flashlight beam. "I should have told you a long time ago," I said. "But I was afraid of what people would think, of what I'd lose, of who I'd hurt." He stared at me, not blinking. "I don't want to be someone's secret," he said quietly. "I know," I said. "And you won't be." He frowned. "You're married." I nodded. Then I pulled off the ring. I said. The blizzard broke the next morning. The rescue team snowshoed in before noon. Jamie and I didn't talk much on the way back. There were too many eyes, too many layers of guilt and expectation. But that night, in the tiny ranger station with 2 cots and a bottle of bourbon, I kissed him for real. The kind of kiss that steals your breath, your shame, your past. He kissed me back with tears in his eyes. And I think I know that was the first time I let myself be happy in years. Of course, it wasn't simple after that. It never is. I told Eric everything. He sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the window. Then he looked at me and said, "You've always been loyal, but not to yourself." We didn't yell, didn't cry. We'd been fading quietly for years. Jamie just showed me the door I hadn't had the guts to open. Eric hugged me when I left, told me he hoped I'd finally stop apologizing for who I was. Jamie and I didn't move in together right away. That would have been too fast, too convenient. Instead, we took long drives. We talked. We fought. Sometimes she was younger, rawer, more idealistic. I was older, more tired, too good at holding things in. But one night, on a rocky beach near Seward, I reached into my pocket and pulled out a new ring. He blinked. "I thought you weren't the marrying kind." "I wasn't," I said, "until I met someone who made me want to live like I wasn't hiding anymore." His hands shook as he slipped it on. No witnesses, no chapel, just us, the stars, and the sound of the ocean forgiving everything. Some nights, I wake up in cold sweat, haunted by old shame. But then Jamie pulls me close, murmuring half asleep, "You're here, and I am, finally, home." Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.